Well, that wasn't like the one in St.
Rick's.
Louis where the mascot was Farticus.
Yeah, the Fartic. Oh, God.
What?
That was the one where the guy was waving his gun at you.
At me the whole show. And no one did anything about it.
In the crowd?
Yes.
Waving
Where is
his
this place
gun at you?
located? What the?
This was in St. Louis. They had Farticus as their mascot.
What is
Okay.
a farticus?
It was Spartacus, but he was farting.
Okay.
And a
I'm
guy...
not laughing because it's funny.
A guy is waving a gun at me the whole show. People are exiting because of it, and nobody's helping me. And I'm just like, this guy has a gun. Is anybody going to do anything? Like, I'm still doing my act, and then he
What
like
is he
puts
just
it away.
like-
Every time he's like, every time you tell a joke I don't like, I'm going to pull it out, and he keeps like pointing it at me through the whole show. Right?
Are you shitting me?
Swear to God,
Which club was this at?
it was
Comedy
the
Forum.
Comedy Forum.
Yeah.
You know, like the Forum.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Okay.
but of course Spartacus, but Farticus.
With Farticus.
farting.
So the coked out owner is banging a waitress in the office, so there's nobody there to stop the man from pulling a gun on me. Nobody can really see the guy except the tables around who have kind of left, and then there's other people, and they're Matt was like going and getting trying to get the like, hey, there's a gunman.
Trying to pull the owner off the waitress?
Just trying to get some attention to
Right.
me. I do my whole show, my whole set, with a gun pointed at me.
That's metal, dude.
I get off the show.
That's gangster, dude.
Yeah, I get off the show. I walk over. There's a guy who's coming to the next show. He comes in, and he's trying to tell me that my dad saved his life in Vietnam. Like, while I'm just trying to like figure out what's going on.
This is all in one night.
This is all at the
Same
same
time?
time. This dude runs out. The guy with the gun runs out as fast as he can. This guy comes in when I'm just standing there because I'm selling CDs. This guy's telling me that that my dad saved his life in Vietnam. This is when the owner comes out and
like,
interrupts this moment I'm having with this guy, which is the only peace I've had in this night, and accuses me of not doing my time. And I'm going, I did do my time. The other comics were like, yeah, he did exactly his time. And that guy had a gun.
With a gun
We were
pointed
trying
at
to tell you that dude had a gun the whole time. And he's like, well, I didn't know he had a gun. And here's the best part. He then gives me a bad grade to the booker because I went under.
Oh, man.
So then the booker gets a hold of me and goes, well, you got a C. And I was like, so finally,
I'm gonna pull a gun out on you.
under duress.
the other comics got a hold of him and he called me back and he goes, I am so sorry. You could sue that place. You could do all the. I'm like, yeah. I was just trying to have a moment with the guy because I couldn't, like when a gun's pulled on you, you just sort of like, for me, it exists. I've had it happen. So it just happens. It's not the only show I've had it happen at either. So it's like but it happens. It exists. So you're kind of just in that moment. But when the
That was
moment
just you,
stops,
though.
yeah, you're frozen in that moment though. Like so you're not really focusing on what's actually happening. So I'm kind of like stuck talking to this guy, which was a good moment because I haven't processed really what's happened.
Yeah.
So now this guy's run up and is just now yelling at me for not doing my job. And it's like, oh, I did my job. I went above and beyond. Many people would have made a scene out of this. I was just so surprised a gun was being pulled on me that no one was doing anything about it, then reacting to it, that I continued doing my set. And that was the same company where it's like, oh, I got a C, did I, for not maintaining my and I did 46 minutes, not 45. And the agreement was 45.
That's
with
impressive.
a fucking gun pointed at
Well,
me.
you should have gotten a C for going over.
But you said fuck.
Yeah, exactly. That would have been fair. I would have said, you're right, I went over.
Who does a minute long with a gun held on him?
Dude, I had to finish the story.
Wow.
You know,
I'm going somewhere.
that was one of the.
That is insane.
Holy
Insane.
shit.
Yeah.
Insane.
I never had a gun pulled on me.
Oh, I have twice.
No. At a show?
Yes. And then after a show was great in Indiana. I'm standing outside smoking a cigarette, and I just feel cold because this girl's talking to me. She comes up and she goes, "Could I have money for gas? My car broke down." She's like this cute blonde girl, and I was like, "Yeah, that's no problem." I reached I gave her a $5.
Oh boy.
And I had just gone to the ATM and they must have saw me.
Oh shit.
Because I had given my money to the wait staff, and I just feel this thing back in my head, and I'm like, fuck. So I give us all the money. And I was like, okay, gave it to her, and they just went running off, and I was smoking, so I just finished my cigarette.
So wait, she was in on
She
it?
was in front of me, yeah, and he came up behind me. So I just
she was the bait, yeah.
Yeah, and I finished my cigarette, and I went and I said, I just got robbed. Can you call the police? They said, yeah. I go, you have cameras on that side of the building? And they were like, no. And I go, you don't have cameras like right there? And they go, no. I go, well, what about in the back for the car, like by the lot? And they go, no. And I was like, well, then don't call the police then. They go, well, why? You could file a report. I go, well, what good is it going to do at this point?
Yeah, they're gone.
I'm like, I think that's why they're robbing people right there.
It's kind of a blind spot you got going.
They have cameras at all?
And just in the front.
Oh, okay.
But I think they were coming in the back deliberately because it was attached to this parking garage.
Got it.
And this is 15 years ago. They weren't going to go through all this. You know what I mean? Like every camera in the air. So they just took off, and I was like, great, I'll just go back to my room now with like, $200 gone.
Ugh.
But yeah, they robbed me.
You're lucky that's all they got.
rough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I blew him. But I asked if I could, and then he gave me back 20.